my name is Lindsay, and I don't mean to alarm you, but VidCon is coming up. Yeah. I'm going again this year, and this will be my third year. First year, 2 years ago, I went with a community pass. Second year, creator pass. This year, I'm gonna go back to the community pass, but this guide will be all-inclusive. It's gonna be probably quite long because I will have a lot to say about both passes, but both experiences were great, so I think you'll have a good time either way. I feel like I've been counting down since last summer because I have. And if you need any specific tips, I'm going to put those timestamps down below in the description. Look, you're busy people, I got you. Or you could just keep watching this entire video straight through. Oh, by the way, this will be specifically for VidCon US. I feel like this could probably apply to like VidCon Europe or VidCon Australia, but this is for the most part going to be VidCon US. Europeans and Australians, you are welcome to stay and stick around, grab a seat, get yourself a drink of some kind. Think of me as like the Greek chorus from Hercules, because I sing and I give good advice and I follow you around. Wait, what? All right, yo, clothing. What to wear? Well, if you are going to VidCon US, you will be going to Anaheim, which is in Orange County, which is also Satan's armpit. It is normally very hot. Last year was between like high 80s and low 90s, just to give you a little bit of like background info. But I will warn you, the convention center can get a little bit chilly unless you have some insulation on your body, if you know what I mean. So bring a sweatshirt if you want. You know yourself better than I do. Think back to the last time you were in high 80s, low 90s weather and do that exactly. For me, the first year I wore leggings and then like t-shirts and tank tops because like for me, leggings are like breezy enough for activities and I can run around and whatever. The next year for my creator pass, I wore dresses basically every day because like I wanted to look professional but also show off my sparkling personality. I was hesitant about wearing anything like shorts or dresses to VidCon because like, you know, I don't have a thigh gap, so like my thighs tend to chafe. So to solve this, you can either get like an anti-chafing whatever. You can go on Amazon and get like a cream or lotion or whatever to rub on the areas that tend to rub up against each other a lot. Or if you're like me and you're cheap, you could just use deodorant, and because it does pretty much the same thing. This may be TMI or whatever, but like guys, just like follow me. Or you can also purchase bike shorts as well, depending on how long your dress is. You could also get away with that as well. Be sure to put that same deodorant in your backpack, you know, just to like reapply in those areas, but also for your armpits because you guys are like kind of going through puberty. You know, you're gonna be within the vicinity of a lot of people, so you want to make sure you like smell good. And now as for footwear, I recommend running shoes. You're gonna be walking around pretty much the entire day. My running shoes did not coordinate with my outfits at all, but I went with it anyway because for the most part, they don't really show up in your pictures, especially if your kids are taking your selfies there. If you don't want to wear your running shoes, I totally get it. Just like put on your Vans or your Converse because they'll do the same thing. Just make sure they're like broken in because like you don't want to walk around with blisters the whole day unless you like blisters. Then in that case, are you okay? Yo, backpack. Listen up, my children, because these are the things that you will want to carry in your backpack at all times. First off, before we get to the contents, let's talk about the backpack itself. You can use any sort of like durable backpack. You can even use your school backpack because it's like the summer, so who cares? Or like an over-the-shoulder bag or a purse, just something that's big enough to carry all of these things. Usually when you register, you get a drawstring bag, but I wouldn't really recommend using that. It's nice for like souvenirs and stuff. I wouldn't use them at the convention though, just because they look like everybody else's, and if yours gets lost, you know, it's gonna be really hard time to recover that. You can put your name on it, but even then, like, it really doesn't stand out from the rest of the backpacks that are there. And there's also that worry that it might break while you're there, so just bring your school backpack. On to the content. You will need to bring a stick of deodorant, which we have already discussed for obvious reasons because it's gonna be hot. You'll need a portable charger. You know, I said earlier that I'm like cheap, but this is the one time where I'm gonna say treat yourself. You're gonna be running around all day and your phone is gonna drain up so much of its battery. So go to Amazon, get like the cheapest one that's like 4 or 5 stars, and then use that one. The one I got, I believe was like $10. I will link it down below if you want to check it out. Oh, and make sure to bring like a cord for your charger too, and like a wall charger as well, like whatever kind of like plug into a wall, because there's a lot of like wall plugs everywhere. We'll get to that in a little bit. Money. Food can get very expensive. Usually on average for a meal, I think I paid like $10 to $15 for a meal. And there was one day last year where I went back to the Italian ice truck twice in one day because I am who I am. I'm not going to fight it. Also, there's merch that you will definitely want. Trust me. And you're on vacation, so just treat yourself. Tape. Actually, maybe washi tape might help. I was kind of thinking of like normal Scotch tape, but I couldn't really find that in my house. If your badge breaks, you will need something to put it back together. There's no punchline for this. This is just reality. 2 of these. This is a Sharpie. Whoa, what? You'll need a black Sharpie for the light colored backgrounds you'll possibly want YouTubers to sign. And then a metallic one, which I can't really find in my room, but it's here. You'll need a metallic one for the dark colored backgrounds you want YouTubers to sign. Business cards. It's mostly for people who have a creator pass, but if you have a channel of your own, definitely bring business cards because you may never know who you will run into who will want to keep in touch. I will go into more details on why this is important in the creator portion of the video. A water bottle. I have one, I'm just lazy, I don't want to go grab it. You either need the disposable plastic kind you hoard in your room, don't lie, everyone does it, or that one water bottle that you use every day. There are water fountains everywhere, so go crazy. I don't know if you're aware of this, but water is free. Lunch! I highly recommend bringing like a packed lunch ahead of time. Like, let's say a sandwich for each day of the convention. You can get that at like Target, or you can get supplies for one to just make it the night before. I will go into explanation as to why this is important in the food section. Snacks! If you really need something to eat while out and about, there are a lot of places that will sell like candy and like fruit, I think, maybe, I don't know. And coffee for sure. But it might be more convenient if you just like raided a Target and got a bunch of snacks from there and then just carry that around. Because you'll be running around and you don't really want to get sidetracked if like for whatever reason hunger strikes, but like you see somebody over there that's like your favorite YouTuber of all time and you want to go meet them but you can't. I would bring something that you could transfer all of your photos and videos to at the end of each day of VidCon. You could send it to your iCloud or email it to yourself, or you could bring like a hard drive or your laptop or whatever and then upload them all to there. This way you'll clear all your space the day before and then you won't run into any problems of like, you know, that like really annoying like notification that comes up that says like storage almost full. If you're watching this the night before VidCon and such and you're just like, oh, I don't have any of these things. There's a Target on Harbor Boulevard which is pretty close to VidCon. I will put a link to a screenshot to a map of that down below if you need it. Hotels / transportation things. I live between 80 to 90 miles of the convention center, so the first year we drove back and forth every day. Yeah, I know. We picked one day where we would stay in a hotel for that night so that we could stay at the convention a little bit later and do all the fun things like go see a movie or go see a concert. But other than that, we drove back and forth every day. We even drove to VidCon on registration day, registered, came back, and then drove back the next morning, and we came back at like 8 or 9 in the morning because my brother and I, who I was going with, we both had meet and greets that was like the very first thing on the very first day of VidCon. The next year we stayed in a hotel in Irvine and then we just drove back and forth each day. We checked in after day 1 and then we checked out before day 3 and then we just went straight home after day 3 was over. Personally, I would only do the driving back and forth thing if you are within 50 miles of the convention center because it's a lot of wear and tear on your car and there's gas and that's expensive. If you're staying in a hotel, perfect. None of this applies to you. I apologize for wasting your time. Sorry, love you. And it actually doesn't really matter much if you're staying within walking distance or not. You'll probably have to take Lyft, which is still not a bad option. Food. Yeah. I'm gonna start off this section by saying this. Eat something. Actually, eat whatever you want because it's all gonna burn off of your body anyway because you're gonna be walking around pretty much the entire day. Check if your hotel has free breakfast in the morning, and then if not, I would suggest either going to Target before the convention and then just getting like breakfast items that you can keep in your fridge or keep somewhere, and then you can eat in your hotel where it's like peace and quiet and stuff. Or there's also a McDonald's, there's a Subway because they have breakfast sandwiches in case you didn't know, and Carl's Jr. along the same road as VidCon. I mean, there's also an IHOP, and I think a Denny's on the road, but like that you have to like sit down and stuff. So it might be best to just like grab something and like run. There is a Starbucks in the Hilton and the Marriott hotels, but those are probably really crowded in the morning, so I would suggest just grabbing something that's off-site and then heading over to the convention from there. If you watched my Yo Backpack section, you probably saw that I mentioned bringing a lunch, like a packed lunch. I recommend this because during the day it's gonna be really hectic because you're gonna want to do everything all at once, and it's really hard to just head back out to the trucks, wait in line, get your lunch and then sit down and then eat it. So I would suggest packing a lunch because then you can eat it while you're waiting for a panel to start, especially if that panel, you have to wait for like an hour or two or whatever. See, you're multitasking. You're welcome. And for dinner, you can go all out. I love the food trucks. Last year, there was like burgers and hot dogs and pizza. There was one truck that had like grilled cheese, lobster, brie type of sandwich. It was really good and I still think about it every day. You'll have a lot of options to choose from. There's also in the Hilton, they have like a food court section that has a Baja Fresh, Starbucks, and a couple other things. I can't really remember. And I mean, if you want to go to that section, I mean, there's like signs everywhere, so like you may not need these directions, but if you're facing the convention center, it's like to your right. So just keep walking down and then there's like this courtyard area. You can also find people that are just like coming in and out of the building with Starbucks drinks. That's also very helpful. They are coming out of the food court area, which is where you want to be. Ta-da! You can also go to Downtown Disney for dinner, and Downtown Disney is really fun. I like it down there. There's lots of options, and you can see the fireworks after dinner, before dinner, or whatever you want to do. And sometimes it's nice to get off the convention center site for a little bit, but not like too long because like VidCon is like pretty cool. Snacks! I think I said in the previous section that there's like stands everywhere that sell a variety of snacks, but you may want to go to Target and then just get a bunch of snacks ahead of time and then carry those around because that's a lot easier, a little bit more convenient. But warning, be careful eating stuff that's gonna turn your mouth into a different color. So this would be like Italian ice or ice cream or airheads or ices. Basically anything that's gonna change the color of your mouth. And then one of those and then your appearance is gonna turn from adorable VidCon attendee to I ate all of the Teletubbies at once. Creator Pass specific things. When you have a Creator Pass, you don't get to do the meet and greet on the first floor, but you do have access to the second floor, which is really cool because there's a whole floor of other panels that you get to go to that are pretty specific to starting a channel or running a channel. So that's stuff like creating, writing, editing, marketing, that kind of stuff. In the words of Stefan, this floor has everything. There's a couple of creator lounges that have refreshments, and there's lots of places to sit and charge your devices and just talk with other creators, and it's pretty cool. It's also a nice little retreat from the first floor. Also, if you have a creator pass, you can also go up to the second floor for the bathroom because the bathroom lines are much shorter. If you have business cards, definitely have those on hand because you can hand them out to other professionals, but you can also place them on like a couple of different tables that are scattered around the second floor. These tables are for creators and pros within the industry to put their business cards down so others can like pick it up and keep them in their back pocket in case they need somebody of a specific field, so like editing, music composition, whatever. You also might meet a YouTuber here and there on the second floor. That's how I met the Gabby Show. Ignore my dark eyeshadow. I don't really know what I was doing that day. And I also walked past Susie a couple times, which was pretty cool. So keep your eyes peeled for sure. One thing that I experienced last year while I had the Creator Pass was that I was really intimidated by everybody there. I think it's just because like who I am as a person. Like talking to other people or like hearing other conversations was like kind of intimidating because like I hadn't really been in the game that long. Like I didn't really start making videos consecutively until like a month after the convention. But don't let that happen to you. That shouldn't happen to you because here's why. You made a conscious decision to go and get a creator pass and network with other people, which is a huge step in a professional's life, to be quite honest. So don't be ashamed if you don't have a lot of subscribers or views. You're getting your start just like everybody else you see on YouTube, except they didn't have a convention like this where they could go learn about this stuff. They had to learn it themselves. But you have an advantage. So get out there, buddy. So don't stress about it. Confidence is key. That convention floor, no! Woo! Am I cool yet? If you need to charge your phone and for whatever reason don't have a phone battery with you, there are wall chargers everywhere within like the lobby section. And I don't know if this is happening this year, but Dove had a booth last year where they had a lot of wall sockets for people to charge their phones and free chocolate. So that's just like a win-win for everybody. If you want to keep track of your favorite YouTubers during the convention, I would suggest putting push notifications on Twitter and Instagram. I don't really know if there are push notifications for Snapchat. Editor Lindsay, can you confirm that for me?
I mean, you can't really set one for a specific person.
Snapchat, come on, get on it. If you follow a lot of YouTubers, this might take some time. However, you could also use the time you wait to register for VidCon to do this for yourself. Productivity, multitasking, what'd I tell you? This way, you won't have to scroll through your Instagram feed or your Twitter feed and watch all your non-VidCon friends be all like boring and sad. And you get the news that you need for those 3 days to your phone directly, and it's so nice. This is how I met BuzzFeed Violet last year, actually. Because occasionally YouTubers will tweet out or Instagram or Snapchat where they're gonna be, if they're gonna make a special appearance somewhere that wasn't previously on the schedule. If you have a second during the day, especially the first day, I would do a quick scan of all the booths just to see if they have any schedules for like any special events that they're doing during the weekend. Because usually stuff that is booth specific as far as scheduling goes won't appear on the app. So for example, last year Maker Studios, one day they had a Q&A for the movie Internet Famous, which came out last year, and they had a Disney quiz with a bunch of Disney YouTubers, which was really fun to watch. And then the next day they had a Q&A with the kids from the show Bizaardvark, which had just premiered on Disney Channel like the day before. So definitely go check that out and then add that to your schedule because that might be really handy. Speaking of the VidCon app, you should download it. They have a feature where you can save events to your personal accounts. So you can kind of have like a running list of your schedule and whatnot. But I need to say this doesn't reserve your place for the event. You will still probably, if it's like a really popular event, you will have to wait a few hours maybe ahead of time so you have your spot secured. This is just sort of like just to keep everything in place and so your brain doesn't go pfft. You can also put down multiple events in the same time slot in your little schedule thing. This is great because sometimes your first choice may fill up, and then if that does, then you can run over to your second choice, which ended up happening a couple times last year and like the year before. Scope out the booths, especially for free stuff. Kermit flail. Woo! So last year I got a tote bag from Canon and I went to the Netflix booth, and one day I got the Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt backpack that they were giving out, and I also got a Haters Back Off shirt from Netflix. Also, I got so much candy from Snickers like the last day because they're like trying to like get rid of it. So like definitely go scope out all the free stuff. And even if you have a schedule in place, I would definitely suggest playing things by ear because something may come up like a tweet or an Instagram or whatever, or like a panel may fill up, or you may find out about some other secret event. For the past couple of years, my schedule that I pre-planned before VidCon was very different from what it actually ended up being. Sometimes I got a notification from somebody and I just did like a... Be sure to read the description of things that you want to attend. I would say do this especially before the convention starts so you can like finalize like everything that you want to do, so you can create sort of like a game plan. I say this because last year there was a stand-up show which was amazing, by the way. If they're doing it again this year, I would definitely suggest going. However, you can only go if you were 18 or up, which I didn't know at the time. I was 22 at the time, so I still got in, but like if you were under 18, you probably looked like this. And it even said like 18 and up in the description, which I didn't read through all the way, so I would definitely suggest that for sure. Keep your eyes open and remember to look up from your phone or else you're gonna miss some YouTuber walking around. A lot of YouTubers will be walking around on the first day because it's like the first day and nobody's tired yet and everybody's really excited. If you know you need to leave for a meet and greet or some other panel in the middle of another panel, try to sit somewhere like along the edge or like towards the back of the room where you can like get up and leave quickly and without distractions. Also, like, people are probably not gonna like this advice, but like be nice to security. They might be really intimidating, but just be as nice to them as possible because like threatening and harassing them isn't really gonna help that much. Meeting YouTubers! Alright, my freaks, this is maybe the most important part of the video, other than like, you know, food and water, everything else that you need to like stay alive at the convention. As I said before, I recommend putting notifications on for Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat maybe if that's a thing. So this way you'll get like quick updates to your phone so you don't have to go like searching for them. So you might get notifications about like a random meet and greet or a concert or a panel or whatever that you didn't really know about, and that's always really helpful. If you have a meet and greet, you can show up starting an hour before your scheduled meet and greet time. Unless those policies change this year, then like don't listen to me on this part. And then like for my first year, how it worked was that you could show up at any time within that 2-hour window for a meet and greet. But the earlier you arrive, the less you will have to wait in line, which is a bonus for showing up early. If any of you are latecomers, I know who you are. I don't judge you though, I still love you. If you're going to a meet and greet that has pro photos, then you will get a card that has a code on it. This code is really important. Don't lose this card. Put it in your wallet, put it in your purse, somewhere that's safe and accessible and you know where to find it later. This card will have a code. It'll also have a link to a website where you can go and put in your code and then get those professional photos in like really super duper high quality. And this is a great little activity to pass the time if you want to download those photos while you're waiting for a panel to start. I'm just saying, productivity, it's a recurring theme. You're welcome. Double check that you are in the right line. This has never happened to me, but I've heard of people getting into the wrong line for the wrong people, and that kind of sounds like an awkward situation. So if you really need help, just ask security for the right line for your right person, because you don't want to miss meeting your favorite YouTuber, do you? And when it's your time to meet them, you honestly don't have a reason to be nervous. Everyone is super nice, and if you really want to ahead of time, you can like practice what you want to say ahead of time, but no matter how it turns out, it's always a really good time, and everybody is just so excited to meet everybody, and it's just really cool and it's really exciting. If your meet and greet allows selfies, get your camera out like beforehand, because that just helps speed things along. Especially if you want to do a Snapchat, think of your filter that you have in mind beforehand, and then just go forward with your plan. Also, if you happen to see a YouTuber out and about, don't go running up after them. Just walk up like a normal person. Also, if you happen to see one out and about, don't chase them. Don't approach them while they're eating. Just, you know, common courtesy type things. I'm like Nike's evil cousin or their overbearing mom. Just don't do it. That's me. That's my motto. Just stay as calm as possible if you do get the chance to meet them while they're out and about, and if it's okay and if it's not like overstepping any boundaries, make sure to have your phone or camera ready for the occasion. You'll just have a good time, and you can like upload that and like brag to all your friends. So those are my tips for VidCon. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's quite long, so congratulations if you watched this entire thing all the way through. If you have any more questions, you can leave that in the comments below, or you could tweet at me at Lindsay K. Burton, Lindsay with an A. I make videos every Wednesday. You can find me on all my social media down below, and I will see you guys next time. If you see me at VidCon, just come up and hug me and come say hi, because I would love to meet you. And that's about it. All right, thanks. Bye.